primos, primas, primas, and welcome to a special episode of my Primos podcast. But in this case, we're doing an offshoot since Elia, Kevin, everybody's busy. They have exciting lives, creating comic books and interviewing superheroes and voice actors. But you know what, Primo Fredie, you guys know me by now. I love playing games. I love playing Magic specifically, and of course video games. And I've started my Primos Play. So this episode today will be a special episode here with my special guests. This is going to be a My Primos Play offshoot of the podcast. And I was telling them offline that I'm going to call it Puro Pinche Magic because that's what we're going to talk about today. A pasarla bien machine, como dicen. And I'm excited to just have back Bones of Calavera Cosplay. Bones, say hi to the Primos again.
Hello, primos, primas. I am Bones of Calavera Cosplay. I am a Mexican-American bilingual award-winning Magic the Gathering cosplayer. I do other IPs, but Magic the Gathering takes about 90% of my brain. So here we are. And I'm super excited to be back, especially for Hispanic Heritage Month. And, let's Latino it up.
Let's do it. We have a special guest, Bear Claymore from twitch.tv/Bear Claymore. Fernando, welcome, primo. Primera vez aquí, bienvenido. I'm excited to have you on, man. We've talked offline. We've butted a little friendship here online, so I'm glad you're here. And, you're the reason we're on here. We're talking about Magic and what's going on in the industry and just the game itself. But please, por favor, primo, introduce yourself to the primos out there.
Claro que sí. Gracias, primo Fredie. Y hello, everybody. I'm Fernando, also known as Bear Claymore in the social media. I'm a CDH Magic player and content creator. I'm also a Latin American human being. My main language is Spanish. However, I delved into content creation in English, and everything has been in English throughout my entire streamer career, which has been already. I was looking into that. It's been 3 years and a half already. So I've been at that quite a bit, and I love Magic. I've been focused on CDH mainly because I want to make sure I bring people into a format that is not as it used to be not as welcoming, or at least that was the perception, and my goal was trying to change that. And now more recently, along with Bones here and anybody who wants to join, we're trying to elevate the Latino and Hispanic presence in the Magic the Gathering scene from Latin America specifically, and give it a voice and shed some light from North America to make sure people know that there are really good players. There's a really nice scene, both tournament and a casual scene in Latin America, and we want to make sure that people know about it.
Definitely, Primos. I know we've talked about having streams in Spanish, streams about the gaming with all the Latino primos out there. I know we're butting really close with One Land Hand. We follow each other, so definitely primos, go out there and give them a follow. They're doing a lot. They're out there promoting the community, la comunidad mexicana and latina también, so definitely give them a follow. Now, primos, again, be warned, this is a gaming podcast today. It's regarding on Magic, so we're going to dive into it, assuming you know the game and assuming that you know some of the isms involved with it. But if not, don't feel afraid. Remember, at My Primos Productions, at My Primos Play. That way we can have questions. We can always answer them for you. Don't feel scared to reach out, of course, to Bones and Bear, and we'll have their socials here on screen for you as well. That way we can have the community grow, la comunidad que crezca, okay? También Magic has a place for everybody, and of course, Latinos. Come on, let's make it happen. So, with that in mind, first things first, I wanted to talk about. Let's just talk about a lot. There's a lot here. I wanted to bring up MagicCon Atlanta, which I know that you, of course, Bones, attended. You were there for the announcement and kind of the camaraderie there. And let's talk about the announcement, right? I mean, I'm going to pull up the screen here so that we can look at it as well, the graphic. So the announcements that we have now no longer we have no longer a strict Magic the Gathering lore set coming out. It used to be 4, now it's simply down to 3, and now we're looking at 4 Universes Beyond sets that are going to impact not only consumers but Standard as a game, right? Standard as a game, which is the big bonk on the head, right? Because Standard itself, I used to be in the old school. I used to play during Onslaught, so I was way back when. And I remember, core set cycling every other year. I know we're doing the foundations now. I like the block system, and I really enjoy the fact that cards can remain in standard for a few years, and kind of we can learn how to work around the meta, make up new metas. This is simply just kind of speed up the resolve to kind of like churn and burn decks, like just kind of get rid of stuff so fast. Um, Bones, what do you think about the announcement while I pull up the graphic of the timeline?
I am very, very torn in like a variety of directions. Because obviously I never want Magic to fail, because a product like it's like interesting moment of like a specific product failing. Honestly, it really only hurts us, because then it impacts decisions. But at the same time, it's so in like a way disheartening. And this might be just more because I'm more of a Vorthos player. Like, I got into Magic because I was obsessed with the story. I love the story. Don't get me wrong, I love to play, but the ability to have an integrated story within these cards and be able to play the cards and then see the story like while I'm playing, be like, I know that moment. That's really cool. And I remember it. It all of a sudden kind of was like, oh, well, what distinguish Magic now from any other game, and but like some stuff is exciting. So it's definitely like a very bittersweet moment in terms of I like seeing the growth, but I'm also sad that we're taking away from what made Magic so special, like personally to me. I don't know. I'm torn.
Bear, what about you? What are your thoughts on the announcement of a kind of like pulling back on what made Magic its unique lore and things of that aspect? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same. I'm old, soy viejito. Entonces, it's kind of hard to see how something that you love starts to evolve into something that it's no longer what you used to know. And but with that mindset, I guess it's bound to happen to any product that lasts as long as Magic the Gathering has lasted for us. So I think it's what companies do, man. It's what companies do. They try to innovate. They try to bring new things and see if that sticks. And if it does, then they're gonna keep doing it. So, on that regard, with that business mindset, I'm like, okay, it had to happen. I'm sad personally because I do miss going back to blogs. I do miss having a little bit more time to enjoy sets and to play the game. When I started playing Magic, I wanted to play standard, and it was nice to play standard. It was a nice pace. It was nice for me to be able to collect the cards and play it for a long time. Right now, even though the sets don't rotate, but every I think a year and a half, or some does not rotate except for a year and a half, the amount of things that they keep pushing in that amount of time is just too much for me to handle. So, I mean, I wish I could. My old guy memory doesn't let me handle so much information. So, but yeah, it's overwhelming. And I think the most impactful thing, at least for next year, is how many sets we're getting, which are going to be how much? Seven?
Seven.
Seven sets throughout the year, not including all the secret layer drops that they're gonna come up with, because that's gonna also be like dropped in between. You know how they like to do their special surprise secret layer drops or whatever. So I think that's just gonna keep happening, and it's gonna be on us to control or just manage how we react to those. And I think that's smart what they're doing today, which is pushing all the information now so that we now know what to expect in 2026 and they don't get as much backlash as they have had this year. That's my thought.
I don't know, man. Here's I'm of a little bit of the old school. Maybe there's that curmudgeon, like, get off my lawn thing. Like, I'm okay with things changing, right? I was able and lucky enough to see things change where we had like new mechanics start up. I hated double strike when it first happened. Now I can't live without it. So I love the idea of expanding when it comes to gameplay. The problem that I'm realizing or seeing in this is that I guess there can only be so many keywords and abilities that exist, right? But a lot of the time we're getting these new sets and we're not getting anything really new. I mean, stationing is almost like crewing, right? If we're gonna go that
Mhm.
route. And what is it? Kicker became a thing that we've rehashed as another thing, and now spree, I guess, would be the kind that connects with that. So
Yeah.
I understand that we have a limit in how we can, flavor. But I do love the fantasy aspect of it. I do like the lore. I used to get the novels when they came in the fat packs. I love learning about Ravnica. Like I love learning about Kamigawa. I love learning, like, I still remember I have somewhere in here a Dissension. When that came out, like I was a Rakdos, like, wow, this is a killer being. Like you don't understand unless you know the lore how crazy that cult really is, and how that being existing in that plane is nuts, and it helps you identify with the color, identify with the play style, and the fact that we're slowly moving away from that. Or maybe I'm just blinded to it because I'm very much of, I want to hold on to that old way, right? Because yeah,
Mhm.
there's plenty of people like my son, he's 15, loves magic, and he told me himself, he goes, and the word has been used, the magic adjacent, right? That was that phrase. Like
Yeah.
he says, you know what, Lord of the Rings made sense. It kind of made sense. Like, oh, it's kind of fantasy-ish. I get that. He goes, but like Spider-Man, he goes, unless they somehow found a way to travel to New York in the Marvel universe, he's like, I don't see this clash. He goes, wouldn't it have been better to make it its own block, its own, almost like its own format within like the Marvel, but then you start encroaching on Marvel Snapped, you start encroaching on the other things, and so it becomes this muddled mess, right? And so I'm good with, I love product, but even mi mujer eso, me atasqué, dijo, ya me dio asco. Every week you're showing me, hey, look, they announced a new set, and she's like, I'm done,
Ugh.
I can't. Like every week there's a new thing, and she's done, and she collects One Piece. Why I bring up One
Mhm.
Piece? One Piece, she's like, look, when we play One Piece, it's a player driven market, because cards that become hard to get or expensive is because people are playing the cards and they need the cards to play. I
Mhm.
think what's happening here is because of Final Fantasy, which I was a fan of, and I fed the monster that kills me, right? Um, they're basically looking to, hey guys, get ready. You're going to spend money on this. And the scalper market, the secondary market is getting ahead of it. And we're going to see that inflation happen because of all these third parties, the universes beyond. And honestly, it's going to price people out of playing the game. I think that's what's going to
Yep.
happen.
So it's funny because what you just said was a lot of things of the conversation I had with Eli. I had to pick somebody up from the airport from Atlanta. So we were just chilling in the car. We had like a 20-minute block where we had like nothing to do and we are just talking about this lineup. And we were hitting on one of like the magic adjacent thing, right? So we were looking at this set and looking at the timeline, and it's interesting of like Edge of Eternities, I was like a little unsure of when it started because I was like, I don't know. I was a little worried because, like, in my mind, I was like, I wish they had leaned a little bit more into like the Treasure Planet of it, like,
Mm,
think like the movie, because Treasure Planet still was very much a like space but piratey, but like it had like the solar like flares for like the ships, and like the ships were like old, so it still felt very whimsical. And I think Edge of Eternities did such a good job of, they pushed it so far in the other direction that it still felt whimsical. Like it felt like the saying, science is magic we just can't explain.
yeah,
Like they pushed it so far in that direction that I was like, okay, like I came around to this set. I was like, I'll admit I was wrong about Edge of Eternities. I actually really like it.
same,
And
same.
yeah. And then we were looking at this and I was just kind of like, honestly, like I there's a lot that I'm unsure of, but like one of the ones that I'm like a little more unsure of is Star Trek, for no other reason than Star Trek is a lot of like practical science. And this was like Eli's
Mm,
argument of like, it's practical, right? Of like, they live in a world where they have discovered the science. So there is less magic to it. And now you're putting like actual parameters of things that can happen. And Eli's argument was that, not that it's ever going to happen because they have their own IP, but if we had done Star Wars instead, it almost would have made sense a little bit more, because the force is this like mystical like object that like nobody, not even the Jedi, not even the Sith, can really explain. And he was telling me like how cool would a Sith holocron would have been. Like it's still very mystical and but sciencey and like lightsabers, and it still it has enough of that mystery that it would have worked, you know. And now we're starting to get more like it's closing in the bubble and becoming a little less sci-fi in my opinion. But I was just like, yeah, that makes that I see that a lot, and it's just I have feelings.
Well, mechanics, right? I mentioned mechanics earlier. And Barry, you want to really open the door for CDH, which is competitive EDH, which is another name for competitive commander, a singleton format. It has a different strategy than you would standard and pauper, etc. But commander specifically, that's the format that I choose to play on tabletop and on paper. That's what I choose to play. When I look at these sets coming up, I look at them at the possibility of, okay, what can I build? Or what can I supplement to feed what I'm already have, right? Because that's always the thing. When I play with my pod, we do it as a round robin league, throughout so many weeks. We accrue points at the end of the season, but there's parameters to how many points you accrue and how you win, just to mix it up, right? So I look at, okay, within our rule set, within our pod, what's coming up that's going to feed my thing here, or something curious that I can build. What do you think about the fact that we're getting into these things where, for example, I can use Spider-Man as the example, like what is the new mechanic, flip, like, you know,
Oh
does
gosh,
this
yeah.
this overabundance of product and forcing it into the magic realm, killing the possibility of growing the CEDH game?
Yeah, I guess that's when you look at competitive commander CDH content being put out there by anybody who's creating CDH content. Most of the time, you will see people trying to analyze what are the best cards for CDH, and there's a very limited, almost narrow criteria that we follow in order to consider something like CDH viable. And the thing is that I can tell you from each set in the last couple of years, I think we've had an average of probably 3 to 4 cards from each set that make their way into CDH. A lot of people can actually just build a CDH deck and play with a CDH mindset, and that's great. And we're looking forward for that to happen, because to me, CDH is nothing but a mindset. It's nothing but making the decision to build whatever deck you want. It doesn't have to be anything that everybody knows, but anything that you want with the goal of winning. And use the cards that you can find either on your collection or by proxying them or virtually. Just use whatever cards you feel are best for your strategy and playing with that mindset of winning. So with that mindset, it's easy to incorporate any cards. But when you go into a tournament scene for Commander, that's way different, because there's a meta for a reason, and there's factors that come to play when you're playing a tournament for Commander. So those are two different ways of seeing or looking at it. But I think that the criteria to identify cards that may make their way into CDH is very, very narrow. And sometimes we get it wrong. I mean, but you never know. And I like to see people coming up with their own builds, their own decks, and just coming to a CDH table and winning the whole thing because nobody's expecting that. I love to see that, and that's what we want to see. And that's one upside that I see on this whole diversity of new products that we're getting with Universes Beyond, is that people from different games and different IPs will come and play Magic, hopefully Commander, and build up a deck with their own, strategy from whatever they were playing or watching on TV, and try to make a theme deck about it, and then get to a table and say, "Hey, this is my, I don't know, my Starship deck, and I'm
Enterprise
going to
deck.
win with this," and they win. What exactly? So that's what I like to see. But also going back to your comments about the brands and the themes, I think that if we strip away the IPs from every universes beyond that we are going to see, if we strip the name of it, it's no different from what we've seen in the past with Magic. I mean, we've had. I mean, you remember band, you remember horsemanship, you
Horsemanship, yeah.
remember things like that from sets like way older than we are, and well, probably not older, but I mean, from
Yeah,
back
yeah, I
when.
got you.
And some blocks in the same year didn't really make sense to be like in the like together sometimes, and but we still found a way to use those. So I think today with the universe beyond, I think that a positive way of looking at it is if you're not into the IPs, that's fine. Strip the name out of it and then try to incorporate whatever you find works for you and play with it. We don't have to buy into the whole, okay, I don't like Spider-Man. I don't have to buy their comics. I don't have to go watch the movies. I can use the cards that I need and then just put them in my deck. So, I mean, we need to find a balance because there's no way escaping this, I think.
Mm-hmm. No, I think for me, what like the bigger issue is on like I am not much of a standard player, but I do like to draft and I do like to pre-release. I think my biggest issue is that they are in standard, and because one, like you said, we're getting 7 sets and isn't, if I'm not incorrect, I've been like super with this everything that's happening, I've been super out of touch with standard.
Yeah.
Isn't it like it rotates at 7 sets, or is it by a year now? It used to be rotates by a certain amount of sets, which if it
Yeah, let
is
me look at
seven,
it.
that's crazy because that is the almost the entirety rotation. I think it's close. I could be wrong.
It looks
And like
like
I
it will. I'm sorry. I'm reading it
You're
here.
good.
So it involves the oldest 4 sets. Typically, after release, fall set keeps. I mean, it says 4 sets. Yeah, that's what it says. He frequency standard rotates occurs once a year, actually.
Which
Yeah.
so that
So
would make sense if it used to be 3.
yeah,
If we used to get 3 a year, right? In a year you would rotate out. And I'm sure that has to change if we're dropping 7 and they're all like set standards, because like I remember the moment I started playing Magic. My first deck was a Boros artifact vehicle deck that had Chandra in it, hence where this whole thing started. And I remember like getting really into like deck teching and like figuring out what I wanted to do. And I remember the moment that Eli was like, "Oh, well, your deck is no longer legal. It rotated out." And I was like, I
what do
don't
you
want to play
mean?
this. I was like, I don't want to play
Yeah.
this. I'm sorry. I just don't want to. I spent all this time and energy like doing this. And what do you mean half my deck isn't legal anymore? And like, that's like fine. I just was not prepared for that. And then we took a break, came back. And that's when, at least to Eli, Commander was like introduced to him, because he played when he was like 10 and then took a big break and then kind of introduced me to it. And then we like got off of it. And then during the pandemic, he was like trying to kind of get back into it. And that's when he discovered Commander, because he wasn't playing when it came out. So we started playing Commander and I was like, this is great. You mean I can make a deck, and other than me making edits to it, it's never going to go out of rotation. So that's why I like Commander. But the fact that like there's so much to like go through, and like the whole point was that Universes Beyond was going to be more appealing to new players. And I agree with that. It is more appealing to new players because my friend Sydney loves Avatar: The Last Airbender. She loves it. It's her version of Chandra for me. So she
Gotcha.
went and bought a ton of product. Bought like play boosters and the introduction commander kit. Like she was into it and messaged us and she's like, "Hey, I need to learn how to play this. Like I want to go to pre-release." Literally messaged us and was just like, "Pre-release isn't on the calendar. Is it still happening?" And we're like, "Sydney, it's still a little bit out. Like I appreciate this."
They're excited though,
Um
which is cool.
yeah, she's excited. And I love the fact that like she's excited to play this. But that being said, we were trying to teach her and I was looking at this and I was like, oof, this is going to be a heck of a thing to teach, for no other fact that we're going to teach her magic with, whatever we're doing. I think we did Jumpstart. And then I was like, hey, so now I have to teach you how to firebend. Like firebending and like all these things are complicated mechanics that I'm not only going to have to teach my friend how to just play magic, but I'm going to be like, hey, firebending is going to be more useful to you, which in this like interesting little niche of the stack of you need to make sure you do it in this period. That's when you have to do it. Like, it's great. I love it. It's going to be really difficult to explain to new players. And a lot of people's first introduction with Magic are pre-release. And it's like, oof, okay. Not very beginner friendly. And I don't know. And then we get into the issue that me and Bear had last night about Mikko. The whole
What
thing
is that?
was, so Magic the Gathering Online, we're both creators for it. The whole thing about pushing Universes Beyond was that people could play with the IP. So they're like, hey, people are going to want Final Fantasy and they're going to go to play Magic and they're not going to see the cards that they want. So that was the reason given of why Universes Beyond is now standard legal. Well, for Spider-Man, they weren't able to get the digital copies to put the cards on the online formats for Magic the Gathering Online, and I believe also Arena, right, Bear?
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe so.
Yes,
So last night we did Spider-Man, but on Mikko, we can't play with the Spider-Man cards, so we had to do the Omen Path versions of these cards.
Yep.
So I was like, hey, I'm playing the Temu version of Eddie Brock because it's supposed to be Eddie Brock, but we don't have the IP for Mikko. So we have to do this Omen Path version. So now people aren't playing with the cards that they wanted because we couldn't get the IP for the digital, which makes sense as Spider-Man. They're very protective of their IP, but it's not going to be the only IP this happens to.
Accessibility, right? That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna promote something like crazy, then you have to make enough product, which the problem there is we have the secondary market now, which looks at this as a business as opposed to allowing a 8-year-old kid to walk into the store and go, hey, I like Spider-Man, can I buy a pack? Sorry, you got to go online and jockey with a scalper for $15 for a pack. It's always bothered me, and I understand that people, and this is where I kind of gonna. And if you're a scalper, I hate you. I'm sorry. I hate what you're doing. I don't hate you. I apologize. I'm sorry.
No, I hate you because this is a conscious choice.
No, you're making the choice to basically villainize people like ourselves that enjoy collecting cards in a sense that I walked into a Walmart and I they have boosters, and he goes, sorry, sir. And he's the guy behind the counter because it was weird. So they just so happened to be a person coming in to stock the shelves for a Magic product. And I was like, oh, cool, finally I can see some in the wild, right? And so the guy out there just stops me. He goes, hey, with attitude, like, hey, no disrespect, but I need you to stop. I need to let this person do their job, and then we'll allow you one by one to walk up there and pick some product. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, no disrespect, I just think you're a scalper, right? And I'm like, no, I just want to buy that one thing there. I'm not trying to clean you out. And when he let down his guard, he's like, oh, good, man. Because you know how hard it is to tell a 10-year-old that, no, we don't have Pokemon cards? Or no, hey, sorry, kid. You may have to try to go here and do that. And that's where it becomes an issue for me. My son, I taught him how to play Magic with our stuff when he was like 8 years old and he was able to read and do basic math. Like, we were able to play together and I have such fond memories, right? Like those core memories of like, this is fun. This is around the table. My wife played, I played, we played together as a family. And then because you're a scalper, you've robbed someone of that experience because now I don't like it, and please forgive me, but when I go to the card show or I go to a card shop, a 7-year-old shouldn't be walking around with a briefcase talking about resale value and in hit percentages to get cards out of boosters. I'm like, you should be trying to play this game, but they're playing the money game, which is crazy to me that that's where this is going, which kind of rolls into the secondary topic, if you don't mind me moving along here, is the secret lair, like buffet vomit that they just came out with at the same time. Porque es ridículo. Like, I enjoy card treatments. I'm a fanboy about card treatments. I enjoy stuff, right? And my son as well. We enjoy horror. We enjoy the old movies. But I'm going to share the page here. This is from Star City Games. I'll give them credit for their work. Let me share the screen for you. But the secret lair announcement, right? And I was kind of hopeful because right before this happened, like a week or so, we had that dollar land thing that happened. If you guys remember, like the flower power lands. I was like, hey, $1 for lands? Oh, I can buy a full set, maybe pick up whatever is not being sold and make it worth my while, right? But the it sold out too quickly. It is what it is, right? But then we get, hey, there's something coming, right? There's something coming down the line. So we get the Secret Lair spoilers, and we get The Office, we get Jaws, we get Furby, which I was like, you're kidding, right? You're kidding. But
I won't
and then
lie to you.
Bones,
I was a certified Furby hater until I saw the cards, and I was like, I actually kind of love this art though.
the art is, but like, I'm a fan of treatments, right? Okay, fine. If that's your vibe, that's your vibe. But I mean, some of the cards here, like I'm excited for Demonic Tutor being reprinted at this
Yo,
level.
that
Like, that looks,
demonic tutor is gorgeous though.
it's beautiful, right? Lord of the Pit, I have look, I run the Lord of the Pit in my ninja deck, and it's like, oh, that would look so gorgeous, right? Like some of that's I'm a fan, but here we go, Jaws again. And my concern, and I mentioned it in the past, this is a unique card. Remember, this Jaws card will only be available for the time being in this Secret Lair. It is not a
Is
reprint.
it?
It is not a make.
It's mechanically unique.
Yes.
It's what's it called? It's a Walking Dead situation again. That the Walking Dead cards.
Situation.
I
exactly.
hate that.
Yep.
I absolutely hate that, especially because it's
So
not
if you
print to
look at
demand anymore.
look at Jaws here, Legendary Creature Chark 5/5, trample and haste. Whenever Jaws deals combat damage to a player, create that many blood tokens. Whenever a non-creature artifact is sacrificed or destroyed, Jaws deals 1 damage to each opponent. Just think about that. Not only the blood tokens, treasures, right? Whatever you can get on the field to just ping and get rid of. Jaws can be pretty fast, especially if you double up. And it's in red, though. So, I mean, mixing it in other colors would be great. But Jaws, and I laughed at this because I said
of course
to myself,
they have a sneak attack in that one.
They do, sneak attack. I laughed at this because I told my son, he goes, son, we've officially jumped the shark. Literally jumped the shark on Secret Lairs. Literally jumped the shark here. And then my son started laughing. He's like, oh, yeah. And he's like, yeah, especially with The Office. Again, I'm okay with treatments. I'm a fan of The Office.
It's a bit much.
It's like whatever, but like some of this stuff is cool. Point is, there's a lot out here for you if you're a fan and you're good treatment. Like Iron Maiden, okay, cool. I like metal, but okay, like the value behind some of these cards too. It just becomes a whole game again. It's gonna become that whole rush to market, which I really like the Trick or Treat set. It looks really cool. Like I love this art. Like I want this art. I really do. I love the artwork for it. And here's your pick of the litter, I guess, Bones.
Not this Furby one, the other one.
Oh, the one where they're like,
no, that soul ring. That soul ring is great. This the one underneath it. That Furby, I'm like so down for it. Maybe not even. It is part of this one, but like not quite. Like there's a bunch. That tormenting voice.
I mean, I said if that's your thing, that's your thing. But I think my qualm with it, this one right here, the
this
first bodies thing.
Yep, I love it. I love this like horror Furby, like that Umbrus. It's wild. That I am behind this particular Furby Secret Lair.
And then you have these like Cryptic Command, but what have you. So what I'm getting at is, and I wondered if when Bear kind of put that up there when he shared a meme that made me laugh, and I go, dude, we got to talk about this because there's just so much coming at you so fast, and maybe I'm guilty of it, Bear. Like you've said it yourself many a time, and please elaborate. I'm feeding into it. Like I'm giving it the energy, I'm giving it my money, I'm giving it my time. If we don't want these products, they wouldn't make them, right? I mean, what's your philosophy on all this coming at you so fast?
Yeah, I mean, I made the decision probably a year ago or so. I'm just not buying into that anymore. If I come across like a good trade or a good deal from a store, there's something I really like, I would buy it. But yeah, I definitely made the conscious decision not to go online and make a like wait an hour or so for the Secret Lair to be available or for me to buy it.
4 hours.
Yeah. And again, we run into all these people that are trying to just make money out of it. Not really. They don't really care about enjoying the cards, but they just want to make money out of it. So I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. And yeah, like I said in one of my videos, is that we we don't get to complain if we are not making any actions ourselves to stop it from happening. You know, if we want to complain, I mean, nobody can stop anybody from complaining, right? We are consumers. We can complain about anything, right? But in the end, how loud we get sometimes with some things, I'm also not into that. I'm not particularly like vocal about the things I don't like or like. I'm pretty chill that way. I just share my opinion and what I'm doing towards something that I want to have changed. So people may take it, people want, but that's totally fine. I mean, we all consume our products the way we want it.
Interesting. No, and that's what I'm saying, because you're right. Like with anything else going on, right? Whenever we look at how we as a consumer culture, especially with everything else we consume, be it media, be it fast food, if you will, where we shop, where we eat, what we do with our time, we choose to do that, and and sometimes we give up a little bit of that liberty because of the comfort, or the fact that we just like it and we want to be part of that fear, that FOMO, right? That happens, and I'm guilty of it. I'm still dealing with it. It's funny to me that the company that handles shipping and product management for them on these things is called Scale Fast, which they're not doing it fast enough, and their scale is way wider than they can do it. But I'm still dealing with them about a Sonic um, secret that I never got. Like, I just never got it. So yeah, I just never got it. I had a whole back and forth. I had to do video proof, and the UPS guy came, dropped off. My wife ordered some because she likes Sonic and I like Sonic, so fine, we'll order two of them. And so one showed up, not only stepped on by the UPS guy, and one showed up with the envelope just open, like it wasn't even sealed. Like the either whoever at Scale Fast just stuffed it, let it go, and the cards flew out in somebody's pocket. I don't know. Point is, I'm dealing with them on that, and that kind of soured me. And what Bear was saying is like, why am I getting mad if I'm gonna buy the next one? Like, hey, you know what? This should be. And that was me and my wife's conversation. We're like, you know what? This is it. We're not picking up any more of these. They're expensive. They're overly priced. If you really want the Sonic card, it costs $3 right now. If you're really looking for it, you know what I mean? Like, if you really want Sonic, you can get your hands on it. Like Bear said, probably in a trade, a couple of bucks, and you don't have to deal with all this, right? It's that FOMO. So, I want to just before we move on to the next segment, and we'll take a little break here. But what's the final word on all this product coming at us, Primos? What do you guys think? Bones, what is your mindset, your little stamp on it for now?
So I am a little bit like over how much product we're getting. My big thing is the fact that like the whole thing when this started was that it was very much like, if you don't want it, you don't have to buy it, right? And I was like, okay, that's fair. Like, I myself am very, very rarely going to buy a secret layer now for the same reason, right? Like, it would have to be a very, very spectacular secret layer for me,
like a Furby, cursed Furby body thing, right?
No, I'm going to buy that afterwards. So, like, let me put it this way. If a Chandra secret layer came out, that thing's going to sell out and I will be there. If I'm not saying this is ever going to happen, but like if they did what's one of my other hyperfixations? The whole thing that people lost their minds about with the romantasy books in K-pop.
Yeah.
Like, people were like, women don't want that. And I'm like, some women don't, but I want it. Like, if they did a fourth wing one, I won't lie, I would be feral. I would be up early and I would buy like 4 of them. I won't lie. That's me. That's one of my hyperfixations, right? But I also have the privilege of not working on a Monday morning. So I could sit in line for 4 hours. But with the secret layers, like, I'm just going to buy what I want afterwards, especially because a lot of the secret layers right now, like the cards they're picking, don't have the value in it. Like that secret layer, the demonic tutor, like that's gonna hold value.
That's worth
it's a
it.
good card. Yeah, but like the Venom lands, beautiful. The oil slicks, but like one of each. Like, I can't even play with that. Like they're not. I could just go buy them afterwards. So it's this interesting thing of like, it's just not worth it for me. What my big irk is the fact that if I want to draft or pre-release now, I have to pay the premium price. the whole thing was, if you don't want it, don't buy it. And I'm like, okay, correct. Like, don't do that. But now if I want to be drafting, which is something I used to religiously do every Friday, I have to make the decision of, do I draft this set that I don't particularly care about, and I have to pay a premium price because they have to make up the IP. Like, I didn't pre-release Spider-Man. I will pre-release Avatar because I like Avatar. I'll pre-release Lorwyn. The Unknown Universes Beyond, people are hinting at that it's probably Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I
And
heard
if it
that.
is, I won't be pre-releasing it. I probably won't be pre-releasing Marvel Rivals. Sorry, Marvel set. Maybe that's like a possible for me. Like, it feels very much like Spider-Man. There's certain cards that I want, and like that's all of it. I won't be doing Star Trek. I probably won't be doing The Hobbit. So I'm just not going to do a lot of Magic this year, which is kind of like, well,
But you know what?
that's no fun.
You probably have so much bulk. You probably have so much stuff you can build from, right? That's how I look at it. You know, Bear.
Yeah.
What
I'll-
about you?
Yeah. Um, Listen, I think the whole reason they're doing this is because probably they noticed a decline on Magic players going after product. I think, and so they're bringing other IPs so that players that like those IPs get into Magic. Even if they don't stay, they're gonna buy some of the product, and that's what they are shooting for, and that's fine. I mean, business model, they gotta do what they gotta do, and business is like money. On whether or not, I mean, my stance is I'm not buying into it. I haven't done a pre-release in quite a while. I don't do standard, so but I don't want to discourage people from doing it, because in the end, that's how people would like to spend some time, get together with friends, or maybe also, I mean, stores. One thing we haven't talked too much about is the stores,
Yeah,
which is, I
yeah.
mean, stores are also struggling in getting the product, especially, and I'm going to speak for Latin America right now, because it's really difficult for stores locally to get the product and getting on time. At least the last two releases, which was Spider-Man and Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
No,
Mhm.
there was something in between, right? Universes
Space.
Beyond.
No.
Which one?
Yes. Yes, there was something. Jesus
We just
Christ, that
talked about
proves
it.
it.
It's the space.
No, it's I literally just made a
Edge of
joke video about
Eternities.
the timeline of the fact that
Yeah.
I keep thinking there isn't one in between, because it was like Edge of Eternity's pre-release, and then before Edge of Eternity's actually released, they did
It was.
Spider-Man promos at San Diego Comic-Con, and the next day they did Avatar promos. So I have a video
Exactly.
making a joke of like the Edge of Eternity's pre-release coming onto the screen, and then it's off and it's
Yeah.
Spider-Man, and then it's Avatar, and then it came back, and I was like, that was wild.
Exactly.
I didn't even know.
So yeah, I mean, definitely, I mean, everything is kind of like mushed up together, right? It's really hard to like go back to it. But in any case, what I was trying to say is, for local LGS in outside of US and Europe, it's really hard to get a hold of the product, because stores need to pay all the import taxes, distributor fees. They need to account for the shipment timelines, which in US is really easy. I mean, stores get a product from a distributor like months in advance, and then they get it way ahead of time, and they're ready. Some stores in US are opening product way before the pre-release, and they start to announce, oh, we're going to have all these singles for you on pre-release. So we don't get to do that in Latin America. At least a couple of pre-releases have had to be postponed, like 5 days after the actual pre-release date, because the product wasn't ready for them. So that's really a bummer for both the stores and the players that pre-signed up for the pre-release. So it's I don't know, it's a snowball. It's a whole set of effects coming from the fact that we're just pushing too much product, and other markets are suffering from that. And the other one is pricing for the end consumer in Latin American countries. I mean, income parity is not there whatsoever. Yeah, cost of life is different, but we don't buy magic cards as if they were made in Latin America. We buy them at US dollars cost, and the amount of effort that people go through in order to get their magic cards, it's unbelievable and admirable. I'm just very, very at awe when I see people doing everything they can to trading like a bunch of cards to try to get this one nice treatment card. And I cannot imagine how harder it's going to get next year because of all these new sets, all the different treatments within each set. I think each set will have like 3 or 4 different treatments of like special cards. The guest cards for the secret layers
Yeah, I
is
mean
just
the
going to be.
Shocklands are coming back. The other half of the Shocklands are gonna be for Lauren. Like that's a staple in most. I mean, it's gonna be a standard again. It's a staple in
Yeah.
CDH. Period. Like you need those cards. But
Mm-hmm.
so what you're saying is we need to go ahead and collect as much product as we can and just smuggle it over to the rest of the world, ¿verdad? Para los primos.
Please
Yeah.
do, please do.
A los
Please do,
primos.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I had the privilege of living in US for a while. I had a lot of product which I brought with me to Colombia, and I'm very happy that a lot of the bulk that I had, or that I still have, it's helpful for people building decks that needed a 50 cents card.
Is there
But
something we
just
can do, Primo? I'm thinking outside of this, like offline or what have you. But is there something we can do where we can donate our bulk? Like,
So remind me offline. I may have not a solution, but like an in for this. Cause like, yeah, I'll tell you
Mhm.
offline.
we'll think about it, Primo.
Yeah,
We'll let
yeah.
everybody know as well if something comes up. Because I'm
We'll
down to
figure
like,
something out.
there's something we can do to kind of help supplement our primos out of the U.S. that want to play this game, that love this game. And if you have bulk, and even if the bulk is helpful, Bear from what Bear's saying, like, well, why not? Like, just well, there has to be some way to make it work. We'll fill you in, primos. We'll fill you in. Sorry to interrupt you, Bear.
No, that's fine. But yeah, overall, my final point is go and buy whatever you want. It's going to be helpful for you. It's going to be helpful for the community. If you can buy it and you feel like buying it, go ahead. And the alternative that I want to offer you is that at least with these secret layers, most of the cards are already out there, already printed, and you may already have it. And if you feel like having a unique art on them, try to go find an artist either local to you or an artist that you like and get in touch with them and say, hey, how much for an alter of this card that I really like?
Yeah.
And that way you still get your own card, you support artists, you make the economy flow with artists and community, the magic community, and you still get a unique card that only you will have. So think about it. Instead of putting your money there, save it and try to do something unique for yourself. That's my suggestion.
I wish that Secret Layers focused more on artists. Like they were like, we do artist spotlights. I wish they did more artist spotlights, give more artists. But before we switch, I want to tell you guys a really quick, funny story that plays in perfectly to everything that we're talking
right
about,
ahead.
the product fatigue, right? So one of the magic people made a joke timeline of, I'm trying to pull up my phone just to give you the actual thing, made a joke timeline of like what it was, right? And in this joke timeline, they put up like Law and Order, like Teletubbies, like it was like a total joke, right? And one of the jokes was the WNBA. And I have a friend who works with the WNBA. She works with the Phoenix Mercury. And Bear, you've seen this conversation. And we have like a group, like Eli and my other friends, like they're very into the WNBA, right? Because the games are electric right now. And I showed it to Eli and he's like, you need to send it to the group, but don't tell them it's a joke. Like, we want to see their raw reaction,
my God.
right?
Okay.
So I put it out there and one of our friends like, no way. And the other friend was like, oh my God, that's such a cool collaboration. And then me and Eli were like, let's go ahead and like start dropping hints that this isn't real, and we're like, yeah, I don't know about blah, 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 this. Like, I wonder how it feels weird having it be like come after Barbie, but before Dog the Bounty Hunter. And then I was like, oh, I was like, oh yeah, like I initially thought Teletubbies was the stretch, but then I realized there's a Furby collaboration, and we're in like the back, like chatting, and I was like, that was diabolical of me to throw a truth in with a lie, and we've been waiting for them to be like, this is a joke, right? And then
Oh
we're
my
like,
God.
oh, you guys don't realize that this is a joke. And I was like, is
Yeah.
that the state of magic from the people who are outside of it? Like, because we're ingrained, right? And like, we
Yeah.
can kind of be like, like the minute I saw that, I was like, this isn't real, is it? But like, for the layperson outside looking in with everything that they've seen, they're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it's ridiculous, why not? You guys have a Furby collaboration. Why not have a Teletubbies collaboration? And I was like, oh my goodness.
The other card games are laughing at us because of that, by the way. I'll put it out there. Just being real with you. Like the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Because
And
the
One Piece
Furbies?
players, they're like, Furby? Really? You guys started. They're like, they're like, they literally at the card shop, they're like, come on, guys. Like, that's why I don't deal with Magic anymore. And I was like, but they're still the card. Like Bear said, they're still the card. It's just, they
Yeah.
look this way. He's like, yeah, My Pretty
And so,
Pony
like,
versus SpongeBob.
demonic, at one point, you could literally have a commander deck because SpongeBob is 5 colors where there is not a single Magic IP. And you can do that with lands too, which I was like, oh, that's crazy. And like at one point, it's going to be decent. And then I just remember looking at the Furby collaboration and being like, because they have, by the way, they're going to sell physical Furbies. And I was like, who wants a Magic the Gathering Furby?
Well, people buy Labubu's, so that'll be the thing again. Oh my God. I don't know, Primos. I don't know.
They had a tiny red mana pit Furby, and I was like, shit, I want a Furby.
And on that note, Primos, we're going to take a quick break. Stick with us here for a fun little game we have planned. Stay tuned.
Cumbia. La vida sigue, la gente llora, el zapato vuela junto a tu boca, la gente cruza, los carros chocan.
And we're back, Primos. Welcome to, of course, this special event here with Bones and Bear. I feel like I need a B name. I don't know, Barbaro. I don't know. Something. Necesito algo, something with the B, alliteration, But Primos, we're back. We had a good time talking about magic, and we're going to have a little fun here. We're going to play our own version of Smash or Pass with the Planeswalkers of MTG. Editor, cue the cool graphic on screen, Ooh, right? All right, so I'm going to share the wheel here. We have 15 of the most popular, of the most popular that I would say, planeswalkers, and we're going to just randomly pick one or two. We'll see how, just have a little quick fun, and then see if we'll smash or pass. But they have a dating profile as well that I'll read off. It's not just on looks, everybody, okay? We have a little more depth for our planeswalkers, okay? There's more to them than just looks. Let's see here.
Well.
Is it? Well, it depends on the planeswalker.
Is this
All
going to be
right.
like that show, Love is Blind?
I mean, we can pull up an image if you need a reminder, but this is what it is. All right, so who wants to go first? So we have Bear go first.
Bear. You're the new one to the podcast.
All right, let's do it. So let's click to spin. Will Kenrith. Oh, do you know Will Kenrith?
I know him. Yes, yeah.
You know him, right?
I was going to say, if you had gotten Rowan, Chris would have killed you.
So Will Kenrith, and we'll have an image here on screen that the editor will add for us just for context. So Will Kenrith, and I'm going to pull up their profile here.
So cool.
It's going to be interesting. Where are they? Will, all right. Will,
let's hear it.
Will's, here's his profile. Here we have traits. Ice Twin, calm, logical, introverted. Turn-ons are chess, ice lattes, quiet nights. Turn-offs are chaos, heat waves, loud extroverts. Favorite food would be a tres leches cake. And their bio line says, I'm the calm after Rowan Storm. Are you smash or pass, Bear?
I'm going to have to say that he sounds a lot like myself, so I have to pass on that because we don't want two of the same kind.
Ah, look at that. Look at that. Okay, we'll pass on that one. It's a shame. I think
See,
you
we'll see.
it would have been, interesting to see that relationship bud a little bit. All right, next round, Bones, you want to go ahead and take the spin?
Sure.
All right, let's remove Will from the mix. How's that? All right, here goes. Fingers crossed on Chandra, I'm guessing.
Oh.
Gideon, Jura. Look at that. Gideon's profile reads, let me pull that up here. Gideon, very right?
Yeah.
Traits, a hero complex, protector, brave and bold. Turnoffs, justice. Turn-ons, justice, loves CrossFit, and has Captain America vibes. His turnoffs, very nuanced. Therapy sessions are not for him, and he hates dating apps. Favorite food, carne asada with rice and beans. And his bio line is, I can't protect your heart, but I'll try. Ooh, what do we think about Gideon Jura's vibe? Carne asada, rice and beans? Kind of basic, right? I mean, it's...
So I feel like Gideon is the type of person that spends way too he doesn't mean to ignore you, but he's got like such a thing in his head of like, I have to do this, I have to protect you, that I feel like you'll always end up being second fiddle. Like it's not on him. Like the people who's just like way into their work,
Yeah.
So
it feels you beat second fiddle to the world.
Yeah, be second fiddle to like everything. Though apparently, according to War of the Spark, Chandra canonically likes big burly men.
Well, look at that. But Gideon, like he does have that complex. He's always busy. He's all about the mission, and is Gatewatch a thing anymore? Who knows? But okay, so you give him a pass.
I think I'll have to be a pass. Yeah, I was like, I'm usually willing to try any give people a chance, but I just feel like he's gonna be too busy, and I am too needy. So I will admit my flaw.
Ooh, man, no connections this round. Let's see what happens with me. I'm gonna go mine. So we'll remove Gideon from the mix, because I wouldn't mind Gideon, put in some work, okay.
Yeah.
Burly man.
It was a 50-50, but I think at the end of the day, he's just going to be too invested.
Let's see.
Oh,
look at that. Rowan. Let's look up their profile here. I mean, I'm already in. Like, oh my god, I dig their vibe. Rowan. All right, here we go. So we got Fire Twin, spicy, dramatic, extroverted and chaotic. Turn-ons, EDM festivals, loves drama, and fireball shots. Turn-offs, boring dates, water signs. I'm a Cancer, so I guess that's not gonna work. And being ignored. Favorite food, chile relleno. Okay. And her bio line, one bite, and I'm here. Okay.
So Rowan's the Latina, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, straight up. That's what I'm feeling. Okay, so loud, dramatic. No, doesn't like boring. Man, feels very familiar. Man, to be honest with you, I feel like I'd always have to be on my toes. Like, I'd have to be like, yes, ma'am. Okay. You know what? I got to think of the next date. Is it going to be better than the last? It's a lot of pressure.
But she's going to make you better because of that.
Well, look at that. It's like you're like, yes, of course. Man.
A Latina recognizes a Latina.
That's true. Fíjate. Pero
Fredie,
there's something inside
him. You like it.
I do kind of like it. I do kind of like it, to be real with you. Like, just tell me what to do. You know what? I think it's a smash. I think I'm the first love connection right now with Rowan. So that's my love connection there. Look at that.
Hey.
Woo.
You
Look
guys
at
seen
that.
the
Look at
TikTok
that.
videos with the jokes of like people are being like, if you see me getting yelled at by my Latina like partner, don't come rescue me. I'm exactly where I want to be.
Yeah, we call that foreplay, you know? Nombre, nombre, nombre. Man, you know what? Like, this is a lot of fun. And, I mean, do you guys want to do
Yeah.
one more to see? Or are we done for
Sure.
the night? All right, let's do one more.
Yeah,
Let's do
let's
one
do
more.
one more.
Let's do
Yeah.
one more, Primos. Now, let's take a look. Let me remove Rowan. Did I remove her? No. Let me remove her out of
Okay,
here.
let me see who's there. Cross my fingers. Let me see.
All right. You got Nisa, Johnny, Teferi, Karn, Soren, Marco, Nahiri, Elspeth, Vraska, Tamio, and Nico Bolas. Big
All
Balls
right, all
Bolas, as
right.
they call him. Let's go. Let's see what Bear's going to get into. Oh, come on, dude.
Ah.
You don't even need it. No description, just done. Smash the button
No,
as
let's
hard
hear
as
it.
possible.
Let's hear it. Let's hear
All
it.
right, let's hear
Yeah.
it. All right, Elspeth, knight, loyal, protective, tragic, romantic. Fuck, dude. All right. Turn-ons are honor and family and historical drama pieces. Turn-offs, betrayal and lying, and black mana users. And she is not into PDA. Her favorite food is caldo de pollo. It's very warm, right? Like very like. And her bio line is looking for someone worth fighting for. Damn, pretty
Nice. Yeah.
strong.
Lizard, 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 lizard,
Beat
lizard.
me to it.
Woo! That's a good
I'm
one. That's
down.
a good one.
I'm down. Yeah.
All the way. Damn, man. Elspeth sounds like mommy. Like straight up, like just take care of me. Like I'm all about it. Protect me. Protect
I'm
me.
down. I need it. I
You
need
need
Should
it.
have
it.
put Mommy Norn on this.
I should have. I gotta redo it. I mean, I'm sure it won't be the last time we play it, but for now, go. Another love connection, everybody. There we go. All right. Let's see what we can hopefully, let's see. Elspeth, let me get her out of the list. Hopefully Bones finds what they're looking for. Here we go. Oh, look at that! I mean, you're just look at that. You're just beating.
Lizard, lizard,
Flip the
lizard,
table.
lizard,
Yes.
Yes. Wow. Well, even just for shits and giggles, let's
I
read
still want to
her
hear it.
profile. Let's see here.
Maybe there's a red
Chandra,
flag in there somewhere.
maybe literally a red
She's a
flag.
walking red flag. I love her though.
Her traits are pyromancer,
Mhm.
highly impulsive and explosive,
Correct.
adventurous, hot-headed, short-tempered. Turn-ons, fireworks, spicy food challenges, and fast and furious marathons. Turn-offs, rain, wet blankets, any authority figure. Her favorite food, tacos al pastor, extra salsa
Oh
roja.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
her bio line, if it doesn't make me sweat, it's not food or a date. Damn, Chandra.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just wedding bells right now. Like just go to the chapel. We're gonna go to Vegas.
Hey, there
We're
you
done.
go, MagicCon Vegas. We're gonna see the wedding of the century there. Oh man, look at that!
All the spicy
Everybody,
food.
we got some love connections in the planeswalker realm. Well, that was fun, Primos. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope Bones and Bear, you had a good time playing the game. We got some more fun down the line. I know we'll be working together here in the future with other projects. I'm definitely certain of that. But Primos, I want to give them a space. Of course, I want you to go support our Primos here on the show. Go support Bones, support Bear as well. Bones, where can the Primos find you? Where can they look up your content? Where can they support you?
Yeah, so obviously, again, I am Bones of Calavera Cosplay. I'm a bilingual Mexican-American award-winning cosplayer, mostly in the world of Magic the Gathering. I'm pretty much absolutely everywhere as Calavera _ cosplay, except for Twitch, that's Calavera Creations. That may be switching back because that's my business name. But for ways to support me, especially because it's Hispanic Heritage Month, I have an affiliate link for GGTs. We have some
There it is.
some Latine nerdy stuff. Also, I think it's also the month of October. I'm pretty sure for Jank Mats, any orders that you order there, I think it's either they're at 50% off or we get 50% of the commission. So if you guys are interested, I have some really cool loteria playmats. So I have
Nice.
3 right now. I have a La Killer Cosplay, La Chandra, and La Clathis. So I think they're pretty good. They're cool. And we got merch. There's stuff everywhere. But yeah, just follow. Honestly, that's what helps the most. Repost, share. I like sharing my cosplays. And I do it because of the love of it. And play Magic the Gathering because we love it.
There we go. Bear, where can los primos, give you support, apoyo, para el primo Bear? Where can they find you and support you? You're muted otra vez, primo. Míralo.
I'm just trying to be like safe, not do something that I don't want.
Elspeth
Pero
would
primo, sí.
appreciate that. Elspeth would appreciate your care. And you see?
Yeah, pueden encontrarme en internet, bearclaymore.com. bearclaymore.com is where you can find me. All the socials are right there. I have a Discord server, so if you want to join that, that's also nice. It's a small server, but we're working towards getting it more lively. I'm trying to get a league, a Magic league going. I'm trying to find the right point system, but it's gonna be there. But in any case, you can find everything about me there. You can if you play Magic the Gathering and you want to join me to play Magic the Gathering live, please shoot me a message and we'll set it up. I have a sign up page there for streams, but it doesn't have to be a specific date. We can play around that. So I'm always happy to get to know new people, introduce people to CDH. If you've been thinking about dabbing your feet into a little bit of CDH, let me know. I'll be happy to help you navigate that. And yeah, also if you want Spanish, hablamos español, hablamos chilango, así que no se la jalen. Porque estamos pendientes. Entonces, yeah, thank you so much. This was an amazing time, and yeah, looking forward for these collaborations.
Está bueno, primos. Definitely.
More
Go, primos. Remember, because more magic on the way, and I appreciate you guys watching, listening here, of course. And you guys can go back to the umbrella, which is My Primos Productions, where we'll have everything from comic books to gaming to everything in between. And of course, the podcast itself, which is My Primos Podcast. But this one here, primos, remember, this is a special one, which we hope to kind of keep moving forward with. Let us know what you think. Look for more from us here at My Primos Play. And of course, from puro pinche magic. Pinche is a very magical word because how you use it matters. And of course, if you use it the right way, it can be magic. There you go, primos. Adiós. Cuídense. Hasta la próxima. Bye.
Adiós.
All right, primos. That's a wrap on the first episode of Puro Pinche Magic. A big shout out to our primos Fernando, a.k.a. Bear, Claymore, and Bones from Calavera Cosplay, holding it down con puro corazón y puro magic power. You already know this show is part of the My Primos Productions familia, bringing you cultura geek desde una perspectiva bien latina, con desmadre, pasión, and yeah, puro pinche magic. So if you vibe with today's episode, go follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get that good geek fix. Show some love, drop those stars, share it with your raza. Let's keep building this comunidad. And of course, music today was provided by Sin Color, Marc Life, and Baby Thug. Siempre keeping it fire. I'm your primo Fredie saying gracias for tuning in. And remember, when it's said right, when it feels right, it's not just magic, it's puro pinche magic.